guys, and thank you for joining me. Today we will be focusing on all things pelvic floor, starting off with a little visualization. If you feel comfortable, go ahead and close your eyelids down and just drop into your breath, taking in a nice deep inhale and then exhaling, clearing it all out, making these some of the deepest breaths of your day. And just becoming present into your body, into this moment. We'll begin our visualization with an imaginary triangle. This triangle will go from your pubic bone to your left sit bone, over to the right sit bone, and then back to your pubic bone. Imagine that this triangle is interwoven with different muscles, just sitting at the base of your pelvis. And this will be our pelvic floor. So taking this triangle and imagining it going up like an elevator, or just like pulling a string from the middle and lifting it up, we're going to take this visualization and put it into our physical practice. So inhale, pulling up on that pelvic floor, and then exhale, pressing down on it. Not just letting it loose, but pressing down. So inhale up and exhale, press down. Following this pattern with your own breath, being very intentional and mindful. This will begin to reconnect your mind and your pelvic floor. Maybe you feel little to no sensation at all in your pelvic area, and that's okay. Everybody's at different stages, but just moving forward with intention in this visualization, taking that triangle, focusing on pulling it up and pressing it down, we'll start to awaken that muscle and reconnect the mind and body together. Then we'll take in one more inhale, and then on your exhale, go ahead and release all efforts. Maybe roll out your shoulders, take in a nice deep breath. We'll come back to the focus of the pelvic floor during our practice today. So getting right into it, when you're ready, follow me to tabletop position, keeping the toes tucked. We'll just roll out the ankles a little bit, finding some sensation in our feet and our ankles. Perhaps you pat them out on the mat. And then tucking our toes, we'll grab a block and place it in between our ankles and our calves. Being intentional in squeezing that block together. We'll move through some cat-cow. So inhale, dropping your belly, gazing up, and exhale, rounding through your spine and gaze towards your belly button. Follow this pattern with your own breath. The focus here will be the same as earlier, just with the addition of the block. So with the block, squeeze your legs in towards each other, kind of like your thighs are trying to hug each other, and then you're pulling up. So squeezing together and up. We'll come back into this cat-cow. Inhaling, dropping our stomach, pulling up on our pelvic floor, and then exhale, rounding through our spine and pressing down on the pelvic floor. The pattern will be the same here. On our inhales, we'll pull up on the pelvic floor, and exhales, bear down on it. So inhale, dropping our belly, gazing up. Exhale, rounding through our spine and pressing down on the pelvic floor. Follow this pattern with your own breath. Even if you move slower, I want you to move with intention every time. This is your own practice to connect with your own body, so be sure to listen to any sensations you may feel. When you're ready, join me back in this neutral tabletop position. We'll grab the block from between our ankles and just put it between our thighs. I'll turn to the side to give you a quick view. I have it on the lowest setting. The intention here is just to have your mind think about squeezing your thighs towards each other and pulling up on your pelvic floor. So go ahead, tuck your toes, spread all 10 fingertips out wide, and press back into downward dog. Take little baby steps here as you walk it out a little bit, being sure to keep your block in place. And while we're here in down dog, I want you to play around with the sensation of your pelvic floor, testing out on your inhales if you can pull it up, and on your exhales, pressing it down. This might be a little bit more challenging, so you're welcome to do it on your knees. But again, moving with intention in every breath. Then removing the block, we'll walk our hands back towards our feet as our feet go out about mat distance wide. And then we'll sink our hips down, coming into yogi squat. You're welcome to sit on a block here, or you can come forward, knees about mat distance wide or further, toes behind you or out to the side, coming onto a blocker all the way down onto your forearms. This is a great alternative to the yogi squat. Here we will have the same intention of focusing on the pelvic floor. Inhale, pulling it up, and exhale, pressing it down. Maybe this position makes it more challenging to feel, maybe it makes it easier. Everybody's body's different. I'm going to move into the yogi squat and demonstrate from here. If you decide to stay in Malasana, you're welcome to take any alternative you'd like. Having your legs apart like this might bring a better sensation of the pelvic floor. So taking that triangle from earlier, inhale, pulling it up, and exhale, pressing it down. Being mindful and just breathing. Taking this time to really be present in your body. Then from either position, begin to make your way to your back, however naturally you can. Being sure your feet are planted and taking your block along with you. We'll just lift our glutes up and on the lowest setting of the block, place it under the top of our pelvis. So not necessarily on your bum or on your lower back, just that happy medium ground where it's comfortable. Plant your feet about 6 to 8 inches away from your glutes. Then grab that second block, place it between your knees, going for that same sensation as earlier, drawing your thighs in towards one another, and ultimately finding that drive up on your pelvic floor. You're welcome to remove that first block or keep it under you, whichever you feel most comfortable with. And we'll just focus on tilting our pelvis. So instead of just pushing straight up, we'll rotate that pelvis in towards us and then press our glutes upwards, and then lowering the glutes back down. We'll move through a few reps of the glute bridges, being sure that every time you set your hips down, that you remember to tilt your pelvis towards you. It's a super simple movement, but crucial to keeping the integrity of the bridge. Continue at your own pace of inhaling, pressing your glutes up, and then exhale, bringing them down. As always, keeping your intentions towards your pelvic floor, playing around with the sensations with the block and squeezing it and pulling your thighs in towards one another to ultimately get that pull up on the pelvic floor. As I rotate my hips towards me, I'll close this little gap between my lower back and the mat. This will reinforce this posture and give you more strength and stability. At the top, you're welcome to pull up on your pelvic floor and see how long you can hold it. This will aid in strengthening those muscles and help in bringing back that mind-body connection. Be mindful of your body and move at your own pace. Lifting up one last time, being sure to give it your all, and then grabbing that block, letting our glutes rest on it, and releasing the block from in between our knees. From here, put both soles of your feet together and let your knees fall open into this reclined butterfly. We'll squeeze our knees up towards each other and then let them fall open. Repeating this pattern, same intention, drawing your knees and your thighs together. Make it one movement with your pelvic floor. Move through a few reps with your own breath. Then perhaps this is where you stay. If you'd like to take it deeper, bring both your knees in towards your chest and find the same movement here. Soles of the feet together, knees out and knees in. Knees out and in. Keeping your intention on building strength and connection here. When you feel complete, pull your knees in towards your chest for a quick hug and then let your feet fall towards the mat. You're welcome to keep the block or slide it out from under you. For this next exercise, we'll have our knees at a 90-degree angle, toes pointed, and we'll just slowly lower those toes towards the ground, tapping them and then quickly bringing them back up. Continue this pattern with your breath. Exhaling down and inhaling up. Perhaps you begin to feel the awakening in your lower abdomen. A little bit of a burn. But just as we've done this entire practice, bring your awareness back to the pelvic floor, being intentional. Breathe through these last few reps. And pull your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice big hug. Then send those legs out long. Take that left foot and hook it on your right knee, dropping that left knee towards the ground, coming into a gentle spinal twist. Being sure to press your left shoulder blade back into the mat. If this is an uncomfortable place for you, you're welcome to join me on your side, either stacking your knees or sending the right leg out long and bringing your left knee up. Just making yourself as comfortable as you can, using pillows or blankets. Release all effort. When you're ready, unwind and meet me on the other side with whatever variation that you took. And with the same intention, releasing all effort. Sink a little bit deeper, and then go ahead, release, unwinding yourself, coming into a fetal position, taking your time, and when you're ready, meeting me back in a seated position. Bring your hands to heart center. Close your eyes if you're comfortable. And join me in a few deep breaths. Inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. Release anything that does not resonate with you. Namaste.